In this video, let's see how we can develop a plugin using Cursor AI. There are many models available in Cursor. Among them, I use the model called Composer 1. If we calculate how many credits were spent using this, I'll copy everything that is shown here as of today's date. In total, we completed this plugin within just 7 interactions. Now I'll copy everything and give it to the AI and ask it to calculate how much it cost to build this plugin. The total cost came to just 0.45 cents. That's basically the amount we spent on a small lollipop. With just that amount, we created a fully production-ready WordPress plugin. The entire process we are doing here uses Cursor's free version and the free Gemini API key. First, let's see how this plugin developed using Cursor AI actually functions. If you see here, a menu called AI Content has been added on the left side. In the settings, you can generate the free Gemini API key and paste it here. You can also select which Gemini model you want to use for content generation. After that, you can see there is also an Unsplash access key. Now after this settings page, I'll click on add a new AI content. Here I'll set a general blog topic like top travel destinations for 2025. Then below that, I'll add some keywords. If needed, we can add additional keywords as well. For tone, I'll choose professional, and for style, I will choose narrative. Now it is researching the topic we provided and generating the content. This is completely free. Now it has generated 2 content options. From this, we can choose whichever variation we think is better. Not only that, it has also provided an SEO score. For now, I'll select this version, then I'll click next. Now it shows the final confirmation for the title and description. Again, I'll click next. Since we provided the Unsplash access key, it will analyze the content and select a suitable image from Unsplash. It has already fetched an image from the Unsplash library that matches the selected content. Now it says the thumbnail has been generated successfully. Then I click next. Next, it generates the SEO meta title and meta description, which are very important. Now you can see the title length is 49 characters and the description length is 151 characters. It has already been applied on the right side. You can see it here. Next, I click on publish to WordPress posts. Then it asks at the top, do you want to publish? I confirm it. Now it says it's published. Now we can go to the post section. We can also click edit post from here. If you see here, it has directly added all the content into the post along with the title. The featured image has also been set on the right side. If I publish it, the blog post becomes live here. First, go to cursor.com and download this software. After that, it's just a normal installation process. There is a 2-week free trial available. There is also a limited agent request available. For creating our plugin, the limited agent, meaning the free version, is enough. Depending on your plugin size and error fixing requirements, you can enable the 2-week free trial. Now I have installed the WordPress environment locally. I assume you already know about WAMP, MAMP, etc. If we install those, we can run WordPress locally on our system. Now I'm inside such an environment folder. Inside WP content, I go into plugins and create a new folder. I name it AI Content Post. Then I open that same folder in Cursor where we created the AI Content Post plugin. If you see here, it's completely blank. Don't worry about that. We will interact mostly in the right side area, just like how we interact in a normal vibe coding tool by giving prompts to build applications or websites. In the backend appearance section, the default 2025 theme is active. And in plugins, there are no plugins yet because we only created the folder and not the plugin file. The plugin will appear only after we create the plugin file. First, I go to ChatGPT to get a prompt. To generate the prompt, I explain my requirements like this. I say I'm creating a WordPress plugin for generating new blog posts, and it needs a UI functionality. The functionality is that we give keywords, it does research and generates post variations for that topic. I also specify that I want 1 or 2 variations for blog content generation. It should also generate SEO, meta title and meta description, and also generate a thumbnail. After creating everything, I should be able to publish it directly to WordPress default posts. Now it has given a detailed prompt. I copy that prompt. For content creation and research in the web process, I mentioned that I'll use the Gemini API key because Gemini API keys are currently available for free. With this free API key, we can utilize it well for daily usage. Now it has provided the final prompt. I copy the entire prompt. Everything here is very detailed, so we just verify it once. I copy everything from here and paste it into a new chat inside Cursor. Now it is creating things one by one. It created a plan. It created a to-do list. It is completing each task from the to-do list. Below, it is also creating all the necessary files for the plugin. Here it added Nano Banana, but that will cause an error in the future, so I remove it from future functionalities. Instead, we can use Unsplash. Now everything has been created. Now what we can do is click keep all in the bottom right corner. That way all the files will be added to the plugin folder and the plugin will start functioning. Previously there were no plugins. Now I reload. The AI Content Post plugin has appeared. Now I activate it. As soon as I activate it, you can see a new menu called AI Content in the top left corner. I click it and select add new content. Here we can write a general blog post. For example, I give the title book recommendations for every reader. Below we can add the main topic. That's the original functionality of the plugin. Then I add additional keywords like books productivity, readers, must read. For tone I choose professional and style informative. After submitting we get an error because we forgot to add the API key. I save it. Now a settings page has been added on the left side. When we click settings, we can see the Google Gemini API key option here. There is also a link that takes us to Google's API creation page. I give a name for the API key like AI Post Write plugin. When I click the copy button on the right side, the API key gets copied. I paste it here. The Nano Banana model was incorrectly created, but we can remove it later. For now, I save using the same API key and go back to AI content. I edit the draft we created earlier and add the main topic again. I change the tone to friendly informative. Now an error appears. It says it is using Gemini version 1 beta. At this point, we need to be very clear. As developers, we understand this, but beginners might not know it. No matter how many times we retry, most AI tools like Cursor search online and add version 1 beta. But currently, Google Gemini is already at version 2.5. Only if we research ourselves and think with a developer mindset will we realize this. Otherwise, we can go to tools like Claude and do our research there. Now I copy the entire error. Even though it says it updated on the right side, it is still using Gemini 1.5. That is not a valid version anymore. This is exactly where vibe coding AI tools are more useful for developers rather than general users. If someone without a developer mindset tries this, they may get stuck in a repeated error loop. AI tools may even break a previously working version while trying to fix errors. That's why we must do our own research as well. Since we know this creation is wrong, I just keep all files for now and test again. But again, the same error appears saying version 1.5 is not available. Since I already know this issue, I tell it that currently version 2.5 exists, not 1.5. To confirm that, I go to Claude first. I ask Claude whether version 2.5 is the latest and not 1.5. Now it confirms that yes, 2.5 is the latest model. That's why if you use AI tools with the understanding of multiple developers, you can build projects more effectively. Now I take this confirmation and paste it in Cursor. It responds saying it will update from version 1 to version 2.5 models. Now everything is getting updated. I click keep all again. Now I generate again with the same information. But now the model is overloaded. When we send too many requests to the model at the same time, the model can get overloaded. The reason is that we are using the free version. To avoid this model overload, we need to add multiple delays. For example, we can add delays of 2 seconds, 3 seconds or 4 seconds, and if an error occurs, we should retry the request again. This needs to be implemented directly in the code. So what I did was copy this logic and paste it into Cursor. Cursor can easily understand this. Now if you look here, it has added a logic. It says that it will try 3 times. The retry delays are set as 3 seconds, 6 seconds and 12 seconds. The first attempt might fail. If the first attempt fails, it will try again after a short delay. If the second attempt also fails, it will try a third time after another delay. That is the idea behind this logic. Everything looks clear now. So what we can do next is regenerate again on the same page. After doing that, it successfully generated 2 variations of blog post content by researching using the Gemini API key. Now we can choose whichever variation we want. If you look here, one has a score of 89 and the other has a score of 88. I will select the variation that has a score of 89 and move to the next step. If you see here, everything is properly filled and it shows the output clearly. For example, the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen is included here with content explaining how its habits relate to time management. Similarly, the content is generated for all the books. Now that everything looks correct, we can generate the thumbnail. But an error appears again. I will copy that error and paste it here. If you look at the message, it says that it is using a provider called nanobanana.ai for the API key. But what I actually mentioned was Google's Nano Banana. Instead, it added a third-party provider called nano-banana.ai. This is why having a developer mindset is important when using Cursor AI or any vibe coding AI tool. With the right understanding, we can build things much more effectively. So I clearly mention here that I am not using this provider. Instead, I tell it to use a different provider or use Google Gemini. After researching online, it realized that Gemini is text only and cannot generate images. So it suggested using the Unsplash API instead, which is free. Now it is updating the code accordingly. It removed everything related to Nano Banana. So now we can accept all the changes. Now I come back here again and click generate thumbnail. Now it shows an error saying could not find suitable image. This actually confirms that the system is working correctly. For now, I will just proceed to the next step without setting the thumbnail. Next, we generate the meta title and meta description. Based on the variation we selected earlier, it writes the title and meta description accordingly. This also uses the Gemini API. Now it has generated them. Not only that, it has also filled the meta information on the right side automatically. The meta title length is exactly within the recommended character limit and the description is also placed perfectly within the proper length. If we write it manually, the character count may vary a little. But here it automatically ensures it stays within the maximum limits. For now, I will save this and then publish it. But But there is one problem, it is getting placed inside a post type called AI content. Instead, we want it to be placed inside the default WordPress posts. So the next prompt I give is that everything is working correctly, but the content should not be pasted into the AI content section. It should go directly into the post section. I also clearly mention the URL structure so it can understand properly. Then I clear everything and accept all the changes. Now if I reload the page, you can see a new box added at the bottom. It says publish to WordPress posts. That's exactly what we expected. In the UI, you can also see an option called delete AI content draft after publishing. This means once the content is published to WordPress posts, the draft inside this AI content section will be deleted automatically. Everything looks good. When I click publish to WordPress, the post is placed exactly where we wanted it in WordPress. To confirm this, we can open WordPress. Here you can see that it has been removed from the AI section and published inside the posts section. Now the only thing missing is the thumbnail. Let's see how to set that. Inside the AI content settings, some configurations have been updated. Below the Gemini API key, we can also select which Gemini model to use. There are multiple versions available. The recommended one is 2.5 Pro because it has a larger context window. Version 2.5 Flash is a more limited version, and the Flashlight version is even lighter. Since we want better clarity in our content, 2.5 Pro is recommended. But if you want, you can change it to any model you prefer. For now, I will set it to Flash because it is faster and consumes less API usage. Another thing you can see is that the Gemini API key field is currently just blurred manually and not actually protected. API keys should always be hidden. So I told Cursor to convert the API key field into a password field. It made a small edit, and now the field is properly hidden like a password field. Next, let's see how to get the Unsplash API key. I click the link here and it opens the developer documentation page. I registered there, and after registration it asks us to create a new application. We can enter an application name and description. For now, I will just click create application. After creating it, if you scroll down, you will see the access key. I copy that access key and paste it into the Unsplash access key field. Then I save it. Now I go back to the AI content page and create another blog post. This time I type top travel destinations for 2025. We can also slightly update the main title and keywords. Then I set the writing style to be a little more professional and narrative, like storytelling rather than a typical blog post. Next, I select one of the generated variations. Now the content is ready. Now we can generate a thumbnail with a professional theme. When I click generate thumbnail, the image appears. Since the topic is travel destinations, it generated an image that includes elements like a world map, a watch representing time, and a wallet representing budget. It combined all these elements and generated an image that is quite accurate. We can use this image for the blog post. We can also regenerate it if needed, but for now I will proceed to the next step. Next, I generate the meta title and meta description, and it fills them on the right side. Everything looks correct, so I publish it. But it doesn't publish immediately because the post hasn't been saved yet. So I save it first. After saving, I click publish. Now from here we can edit the post or view the post directly. When I click edit, it opens the blog post inside WordPress. On the right side, the post thumbnail is also set. After saving and viewing it, you can see that the title, thumbnail, and content are all properly placed. This entire process took roughly 2 minutes. If you are a content writer, instead of starting from a blank page, you can simply use this plugin and provide topics. It will generate 2 variations of content. You can edit the generated content if needed. It also provides proper SEO titles and meta descriptions. It even finds a suitable image for the content and automatically sets it when you publish. Normally, writing a full blog post might take a whole day, but this process can finish it within 13 to 15 minutes. If someone wants to create a large amount of content using AI for their website, they can generate and publish a new blog every 2 minutes. Now, if I open the plugin page, I can also change the author name. I change it to Unsif. With a few small edits, this plugin can look like our own custom plugin. We can even upload it to the WordPress plugin directory on wordpress.org. As I mentioned earlier, I also checked the total cost using Cursor's usage page. I copied the usage data and asked the AI to calculate the total cost. It came out to 0.45 cents. That's basically the amount we spend on a small lollipop. So the total development cost for this was only about 0.45 cents. And we didn't even spend it directly because we were using Cursor's free version or the 2-week free trial. For the API, we are using the Gemini API key. Each user can generate their own API key and add it, so they won't use our single API key. Otherwise, the cost would come to us. So something that normally takes 2 to 3 weeks of development to build a plugin with this level of functionality can now be created within 15 minutes with a total cost of around 0.45 cents. If you like this video about creating an AI WordPress plugin, make sure to like the video. And if you want a full guide on using the Cursor AI code editor, let me know in the comment section. If you want more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.